Hi, friends. Today I want to share a new story with you. I hope you enjoy it. I was rinsing my coffee mug when my phone rang. The number was unfamiliar, but it had a Texas area code. It was a quiet Tuesday morning, and I had the day off from my job at the library. I almost let the call go to voicemail. Hello? Is this Miss Lyanna Johnson? The voice was clear and businesslike. Yes, this is Lyanna. This is Karen Delgado from Texas Bank Group. I'm calling about your second mortgage payment on the Lexington property. It's 30 days overdue. I froze, my hand gripping the counter. There must be a mistake, I said. I don't own any property in Lexington. There was a pause. I imagined Karen frowning on the other end. Ma'am, the loan is under your name, co-signed by Donald Johnson. He's your brother, right? My mouth went dry. Yes, but I never signed anything. Karen's voice turned serious. You should talk to our fraud department. I'll send over the paperwork we have. Please check your email soon. I barely said thanks before ending the call. My heart was racing. A mortgage? In Lexington? I didn't have any extra money, let alone enough to buy a house. The email came quickly. I opened the file and scrolled. My full name, my social security number, a signature that looked just like mine, page after page of documents, all with Donald's signature too. Donald, my golden boy brother, always forgiven, always bailed out. I hadn't spoken to him in months, since he shared my personal info when I refused to lend him money. And now this. I called him right away. It went straight to voicemail, of course. Then I called Michael Grant. Lyanna, he answered right away, alert as always, probably in the middle of a trial. I need your help, I said, sinking onto the couch. Someone used my name for a mortgage, Donald co-signed it, and Michael, I swear, I never signed anything. It even looks like my parents signed too. Don't panic, Michael said. His voice was lower now. I'll be there in an hour. Don't call anyone yet. Let me look at the documents first. I ended the call and stared at the screen. My parents, my brother, the people I trusted most, my family, the ones I shared holidays with. Now, they were behind this. I didn't cry, I just sat still, hands tight in my lap, staring at the mess I didn't make, my life coming apart like a loose thread. And inside me, something sharp and cold started to grow, a new part of me. Justice. And this time, I wouldn't let family stop me. Michael sat across from me in my apartment, sleeves rolled up, reviewing the printed papers spread out on the table. His eyes moved quickly over the papers, focused and serious. This isn't just identity theft, he said, this was planned out. I leaned in. You think they all worked together? He looked at me. They used your name, your social security number, and faked your signature, not once, but on 4 different things, the bank forms, credit cards, and a $70,000 loan. Lyanna, your parents had to be involved. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I had been holding on to the small hope, maybe a silly one, that Donald did this alone, that my parents didn't know. But I have to talk to them, I said softly. Michael's face turned serious. Record everything. Stay calm. Don't yell or accuse. Just ask questions. We need proof. The drive to my parents' house in Oakdale was silent. The sky was gray, like it knew something heavy was coming. I hadn't been home since Easter, plenty of time for secrets to grow. Mom opened the door. Lyanna, what a surprise. I walked past her. Where's Dad? In the living room. What's this about? I stepped inside. Dad looked up from his chair, surprised, then tense. Donald was on the couch, scrolling through his phone. When he saw me, his face turned pale. I stood in front of them and held out the papers. Texas Bank Group called me. There's a mortgage in my name, credit cards I didn't open, a $70,000 loan. My signature is on all of it. Donald stood up, nervous. Lyanna, you all forged my name, I said sharply. Mom touched my arm. We only did it to help Donnie. He was struggling. We knew you'd say no. That's true, Donald said quickly. I just needed a little help to get back on my feet. Donald said, you had great credit. It's not like you were using it. I stared at them, my lips shaking. You destroyed my credit, my trust, and you did it behind my back, like I didn't matter. Dad sighed, rubbing his forehead. You'll bounce back. You always do. I shook my head slowly. Not this time. I hired a lawyer. I'm pressing charges. The room went quiet. The air turned cold. You'd really send your own family to jail? Mom asked in a whisper. No, I said, stepping back toward the door. You did that yourselves. I walked out without looking back, but behind me, I heard Donald yell my name, and the front door slammed like thunder. Michael called me at 7:13 a.m. His voice was sharp. Lyanna, you need to get to my office, now. I barely took a sip of coffee before grabbing my keys, my heart pounding. His office was on the 9th floor with a view of downtown Houston, but the morning sun didn't make it feel any warmer. When I stepped in, he waved me over and turned his laptop toward me. What you're about to see, he said, is bigger than just your family. On the screen was a diagram, lots of names, fake companies, account numbers, and right in the middle, Lyanna Johnson. What is this? I asked, already afraid of the answer. Michael rubbed his head. Your family didn't just steal from you. They used your identity to create a fake company, Brightwave Holdings. They scammed at least 8 people, promising huge returns. I froze. That's a crime. Investment fraud. Exactly. One of the people they tricked? Dr. Hammond, your old doctor, and Clara Benton, your mom's best friend. I spoke to both. They gave money because your name was listed as the director. I blinked. I've never even heard of Brightwave. They made it look real. Website, business license, even a fake email, loanage@brightwaveholdings.com. I swallowed hard, my stomach turned. They're hurting others, in my name. Michael looked me in the eye. We're taking this to the FBI. I've already written the report, but this goes deep. Going to the FBI felt like walking into a place without mercy, cold, strict, and serious. Michael and I sat across from Agent Rivera, who looked through the paperwork one sheet at a time. These signatures, he said, pointing to a loan form, you're saying none of them are yours? I nodded. Not one, they're fake. Michael added, money from Brightwave went straight to Donald's account. Lyanna's parents got others to invest, using her name to make it seem legit. Rivera's face grew tense. We'll need statements from all the victims. Will you testify? I'll do whatever it takes, I said, my voice strong, even as my hands trembled. They used me like a tool. Later, Clara cried while giving her statement, gripping the fake contract. Dr. Hammond stayed calm until he saw the fake emails from me. That broke him. By the end of the day, the FBI had what they needed. Rivera stood and looked at me. You did the right thing, but be ready. Once we arrest them, this will be public. I looked at Michael, then back at Rivera. Let it. They already stole my name. I'm taking it back. The courtroom was still as the jury came in. My heart pounded in my ears. Judge Calloway read each verdict. Guilty. 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 My mother's eyes filled with tears. My father stared ahead, expressionless. Donald looked like he'd collapsed inside. Michael leaned toward me and said, it's over, Lyanna. But it wasn't, not yet. At the sentencing, I stood one last time. They didn't just take my credit, they took my peace, my future, my faith in the people I loved. I looked them in the eyes. And yet, I'm still here. My parents each got 5 years. Donald got 18 months and probation. They had to pay people back. Their apologies came, but too late. Outside the courthouse, Clara hugged me tight. You saved all of us, Lyanna. A few weeks later, I signed a lease on a new apartment. Sunlight filled the room like hope. My credit was improving, thanks to a kind advisor and months of hard work. Michael brought me a small bronze plaque. Lyanna Johnson, survivor, fighter, free woman. I smiled as tears rolled down my cheeks. Freedom wasn't just a dream anymore. It was mine. Friends, what did you think of this story? Share your thoughts in the comments. Want more stories like this? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next video. See you tomorrow.